to our next question. Homologous pairs of chromosome separate during which process? Homologous pairs of chromosome. We are asked the homologous pairs of chromosome separate during which of these? We have our option A to be meiosis, and we have our option B to be cytolysis. We have our option C to be mitosis, and we have our D to be cleavage. So I hope you following what I'm saying. These questions are what can disorganize students in any examination condition. So homologous pairs of chromosome, mind you, anything that is called pair occurs in two. Pair, when you say for example, you can see a man or a woman with a pair of trousers. A pair of trousers is not just a single or part of the trouser, but a pair of trousers is two. You can see a pair is just denoting two things, and the homologous pair of chromosome. So for homologous pairs of chromosome, let's represent a chromosome to have a structure like this. So these are chromosome. A chromosome with a center called the what? Centromere. And we have what? The chromatids. This is the chromatids, this is the centromere, and we know this as drawn on the board is called what? Chromosome. So this is a chromosome, but we have what we call homologous pairs of chromosome. What's the meaning of homologous or homolog? Homologs are the same pair. When you say homologs means something that is of the same kind. So we have homologous pair of chromosome. That means we have the same pair of this chromosome. So with this structure, we can say these two chromosomes are called homologous pair. So homologous pair, this is a homologous pair of chromosome, and homologous pair of chromosome separates during which? The first option we have in the question is meiosis, and the second option is cytolysis, which is option B, and this third option is mitosis, and the fourth one is cleavage. So I'll take the options and tell you the meaning of all this to arrive at the right answer. Cleavage. What is cleavage? Cleavage means a division or successive division of a cell. Cleavage is a division that occurs in a fertilized cell. So cleavage is a series of division that occurs. So having known that cleavage is a series of division, let's go to mitosis. Mitosis is a division that occurs in a somatic cell. Mitosis is a division that occurs in a somatic cell, and it occurs with a chromosome. So you can attach your mitosis to what we know as what? A single chromosome. In mitosis, we have a single chromosome separating. So back to the next option, which is cytolysis. What is cytolysis? Lysis, from the word, we can break this word into two: cyto and lysis. Cyto from cytoplasm and lysis from word breaking. So this is the breaking of the cytoplasm. The cytolysis is breaking of the cytoplasm, and which will not be the right option. But going to the first option, which is called meiosis. In meiosis, homologous chromosome separate. We have homologous pair of chromosome coming together in what we know as melting division. So a melting division is characterized by what we know as what? homologous pair of chromosomes. Note the word homologous pair. In meiotic division, any meiotic division, you have homologous pairs of chromosomes coming together and they separate at a stage that we known as what? Anaphase stage. They separate at a stage known as anaphase. I'm very sure when you continue with this video, you will see and you get a proper understanding of what we mean by all the stages of mitosis and meiosis. We'll be able to break down everything that you need to know as regards the concept of meiosis and mitosis. So for our answer, we have meiosis. Homologous pairs of chromosomes separate during the process meiosis. Alright, so I hope you've seen what's on the board. So back to the next question. I'll rub. So we have the next question to be, which type of cell is produced by meiosis? Which types of cell is produced by meiosis? Meiotic division. We've talked about meiotic division being occurring with a homologous pair of chromosomes. They're not asking us which type of cell is produced by meiosis. The first one we have a fertilized egg cell. And the second option, we have what we leaf cell. And in the third option, we have what we know as red blood cell. And the last option, we have what we know as what? Sperm cell. So they're asking us a question that in which type of cell does meiosis occur, or is meiosis undergo? But let's first of all look at the first option. The first option is a fertilized egg cell. What do you mean by a fertilized egg cell? A fertilized egg cell is a fusion of the male and female gametes. The fusion of the male and female gametes give us what we know as a zygote. So a zygote is formed as a result of the fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete, and the male gamete is called the sperm cell. The male gamete is called the sperm cell, and sperm cell has what we know as what? Haploid number of chromosome. Haploid number of chromosome is represented by N, and we have the female cell, which is the ova. In the plural form, in the singular form, we have ovum. The ovum also have what we call a what? Haploid number of gametes, which is N, represented by N. So when we have the fusion of this N and N, we have what we call a 2N, resulting back into what we call mitosis. So a fertilized egg cell is as a result of what? Mitotic division. So we have a mitotic process in a fertilized egg cell. A leaf cell also is a somatic cell. And what do we mean by a somatic cell? A somatic cell undergoes mitosis. A somatic cell is a cell that will divide into the same, that will divide to give the same offspring as a result of mitotic division. So our leaf cell undergoes what known as mitosis. So in mitosis we have the cell 2N to divide into 2N. And our red blood cell also, and I know you know what the red blood cell means. Red blood cell in humans is called erythrocytes. Like you've known in your biology days, you've known that our red blood cell is all known as erythrocytes. And erythrocyte is responsible for what? Is responsible for transport of oxygen throughout the body. So erythrocytes, a division in erythrocytes also is the process is known as a mitotic process, or the process that we have is called mitosis. So we have mitosis in the red blood cell. And back to our last option, which is the option D, a sperm cell. A sperm cell, formation of a sperm cell is as a result of what we know as what? Meiotic division. So a meiotic division is what gives rise to a sperm cell. So the right answer to this question would be what? A sperm cell. A sperm cell is the one that undergo a meiotic process. So back to our next question. Next question, we have a genetic counselor advises couple that they could produce several embryos by IVF treatment. During IVF treatment, each fertilized egg forms an embryo by cell division. Name this type of cell division. So IVF treatment is a form of treatment that is used to help people with fertility issue. And you know, in the world today, fertility issue has been a case that most of the people are, most of newlywed couples just in chaos. Their home are in chaos because of what? Fertility issues. So there is a science. There is a science trying to help the fertility issue through IVF treatment. And what do you mean by IVF treatment? I'll rub the board. I hope you're following what I'm trying to say. All these are what you will learn when we have the full class itself. So with IVF treatment, what do you mean by IVF? IVF is what known as in vitro fertilization. So IVF is in vitro fertilization, and in vitro fertilization is used to help people with fertility issue. So like the question asks, a genetic counselor advised couple that they can produce several embryos through IVF treatment. During the IVF treatment, each fertilized egg forms an embryo by cell division. So the IVF treatment has been used to help the couples that are not able to give birth. So the IVF treatment, we have the sperm of the husband being taken, and we have, the sperm cell, like we said. We have the sperm cell, and also we have the ovum. The ovum from the wife. So the sperm cell and the ovum fuses together in a place outside the uterus. This is done in the laboratory labs. IVF treatments are done in laboratory labs. So we have this coming together in the labs to give us what we call a zygote, or zygotes rather. So after the zygote has been formed, we have series of developmental process in which the zygote undergoes to form embryo. So the embryo continues to develop in the mode where it is being kept, maybe a test tube or in another medium. So if we have this zygote developing into what we know as what? Embryo. And mind you, we've previously identified that a sperm cell has a what? Haploid number of chromosomes, which is represented by N, and an ovum also has an haploid number of chromosomes, which is also represented by N. And the coming together of the sperm cell and the ovum gives us a zygote. The N and N fuses together to give us a what? 2N zygote. And 2N zygote also divides mitotically to give us a what? 2N embryo. So the process in this IVF, in vitro fertilization, the process of the self division that we have in the zygote forming several embryos is all known as what? Mitosis. So the mitosis is the process in which the several embryos are being formed. So, alright, I'll take a short break with my Coke. So, sorry, I need to take something to hydrate myself. I know you can also do what to join me in also relaxing yourself a bit with a bottle of chilled drink. So in some minutes we'll just alright, so that's relaxing. So thanks Also, please, I don't want you to take your attention away. I'm just trying to hydrate myself. Alright, back to what we are saying. In vitro fertilization. You've seen what we mean by in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization. Okay, so it's a serious business, students. You can see that's what you've got. You've got someone that will give you the best in what you need to know about biology. Okay, for the in vitro fertilization, we've seen, we've told you, or I've told you rather, that the sperm cell and the ovum come together to form a zygote, in which the zygote also divides mitotically into an embryo in a process called mitosis. So, we now go to some questions in which you have to solve judiciously. These are questions that are asked in various examination body. It's a form of written question, but the answers are something that you must be very, very judicious about. And you know, in biology, we are more concerned about your spellings. Spellings are very, very, very important in biological questions. To have the right answers or to have the right grades in biology, you have to have a good mastery of spellings. Your spelling drill must be very, very sound.